Alright guys, so I've been seeing like a lot of videos about living in your car, and a lot of y'all don't even really live in y'all car for reals. And I just think it's stupid how like you guys are claiming that the economy is so bad that you're gonna go live in your car, because I feel as though if you don't have to right now, then I wouldn't even say it, because I feel like a lot of things that you can speak it into existence. And honestly, I've been homeless before. I've been homeless a couple of times in my life when I didn't even have a car. So the fact that like you have a roof over your head, and then like you're trying to make videos to, I guess, get seen, I don't know, maybe monetized. I respect the hustle, but like I don't know, y'all. Like I feel like that's something like severe that you do not want to claim over your life, because being homeless is hard. Like it sucks. Just speaking from a person who has been homeless before, I was actually homeless when I was around 17 going on 18, and it was slightly optional. Slightly, I could have went and stayed at somebody's house, but I decided that I wanted to like do it on my own, right? So I was sleeping at bus stops and taking the bus. I was staying awake at night, and then during the daytime I would take the bus and do my homework and like take naps. I would literally be on that bus all freaking day, from like 6 a.m. to dang near 6 p.m. sometimes. And I was pregnant at the time as well. Um, but I was doing what I need to do to graduate high school and try to get my place and everything. Excuse me. And honestly, that was like one of the worst times of my life. That was one of the most depressing times of my life, being homeless. So that's one of those things that I just do not play about. And then like you're not saving any money being homeless, guys. Like the amount of money that you spend on being homeless, you might as well just try and go hustle for a place if you're fortunate enough to get one. Because the second time I was homeless, honestly, the first and the second time, like I was spending a lot of money. Like I was able to hustle because at the time, you know, we were doing tattoos at the time, just trying to like make some money, and like tattoo money comes fast. So we ended up having to pay for food every day, and this is like without assistance. We had to pay for food, what else? Clothes. Just eating out every day was expensive, so like that money, it goes fast, and you would be able to save more if you're actually in an apartment. And at that time, rent wasn't that high, but like still, like I was spending as much on food as I could have with rent. But the only issue was the reason why I could not get into a place, and not even just like a studio or anything, because I didn't have any credit. And like when you're self-employed, you can't really you're not seen on paper. So therefore, like these people aren't looking at, oh, your self-employment income, that you just started this, like this is a business. We weren't filing taxes on it or anything. We're just too young. We were way too young. So therefore, we didn't have anybody to sign like a lease for us, like a co-signer on a lease. So therefore, like we had to hustle for a while, like for months, and we spent a lot of money being homeless. And honestly, even if we had a car, like I feel as though we still would have spent the same amount of money, because most of the money goes on food. When you're homeless, you don't have a microwave, you don't have an oven, you don't have none of that. So you have to buy fast food almost every day, unless you have family looking out for you or something. But yeah, like I wouldn't claim that. And then like the second time I was homeless, I had a car, but the thing about that was, I was mainly like just paying for hotels, and a hotel for 1 week was $800. That's a lot of freaking money. $800 for a hotel for 1 week, a lot of money, y'all. And then that's not even including the food, and then it's not including like gas, because when you're homeless and you're kind of like, you're switching from hotel to the car, you're driving around a lot, unless like you have like a full-time job. Like if you're hustling, especially if you're hustling, you're most likely like driving around a lot. So therefore the money comes in fast, but the amount of money that you're spending on being homeless, I promise you, is better to just get into an apartment and be house broke or apartment broke, instead of living outside of your car, or getting money for a hotel here and there, and not really having money to eat. Or when you do have money to eat, you're spending all that money on junk food pretty much. And like you're either gaining weight depending on what your choice is, or you're losing weight. And it doesn't make sense. Like, if you can be apartment broke, honestly, I would take apartment broke. Not saying that I want to be apartment broke, but if you want to be apartment broke is the way to go over being homeless with a car. Because being homeless with the car, it's just way too expensive. And like, you have the money coming in, especially if you're a hustler. If you're a hustler and you do any type of gigs, you're gonna have the money. But it's better to just funnel the money to an apartment. Or if you do plan on being homeless, like in your car, living in your car, it'll be better to make that a temporary situation. Don't make it like a van life type of situation. Like, just get some money up and then buy some land, and then go park your car on that piece of land and just build from there. Because yeah, it doesn't make sense to still try to be homeless for all that time. Or go to a homeless shelter, try to get a voucher or something. But living in your car long term is just not the way to go, y'all. It's just not. I don't care what these people are saying. Some people are trying to make it seem like it's fun. Some people are trying to say like the economy is so bad that you have to live in your car. And honestly, yes, the economy is bad, but y'all, like, we have to take some accountability here and say, okay, maybe our spending habits is kind of bad too, especially if you have a job, or like if you have a hustle and you're getting money coming in. We have to reevaluate what we're spending our money on. And like, I'm guilty of all of this, so that's why I can speak on it. We have to reevaluate how we're spending money and how we're managed. Basically, how we have to spruce up our money management skills is what I'm pretty much trying to say. Because sometimes we can afford certain things, but we haven't changed up our spending habits. So therefore, we can't afford our spending addiction and paying bills like rent and all this other stuff. Now, we don't have it like the older generation, but I feel like sometimes, not every situation now, it just takes us being better with money management. And that's something that I definitely need to be better with as well. So all I was trying to say was, honestly, if you're not homeless, I wouldn't even speak that into existence. If you're talking about living in your car, sorry, I would not speak that into existence, because that's not the way to go. It's not the life to live. And if you have no choice, I mean, just come up with a plan, because I feel as though that's only a temporary situation that you will get out of.